What's going on, guys? T90XVI, and this is a heck of a game. It's first regional qualifications from the WSVG I'm bringing to you, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. Now, Wrath, he has moved on and really impressed this tournament. And then, of course, Fire on the other side here. Well, he's Fire, and we've all heard of Fire before, so we were expecting him to do well this tournament. Now, Clan Wrath is just doing fantastic this tournament. Now, let me just give you a little bit of background, a little bit of understanding. Game 1, this is Game 2, and Game 1, the victor was Fire, okay? And so that was on a hybrid map that was a little bit of like Arabia with lack of wood. I forget what it was called. But wasn't as really entertaining. So I wanted to show you this game here. Now, this game here, Crater Lake. I didn't think they would ever put this in the tournament because, you know, you win the water, it's over, right? I mean, you win the water, you win the gold, right? But we'll see what happens. We're going to go over some things here. But like I said, one up right now is Fire, and it's a best of 7 series now to move on. So this is, you know, obviously in your region to qualify for the playoff stages. So two great players. One of these guys is going to go out here. We are going to speed it up. Now, obviously, it's a water map. It is WSVG, Crater Lake. So as you can see here, there is quite a bit of spaced out fish as opposed to it being, you know, your standard Crater Lake with the fish, like 16 fish here and like none here and like none on his side. You know what I mean? So only thing I will say, this is actually the second time they're playing Crater Lake. Fire, he used his re. He used his rehost, which you can do within 5 minutes. And the reason he did, he was on this side, and he was luring in his boar, and he lost a villager, and he resigned and used his re. So interesting to see that possibly Fire is a little bit off his game right now. But we'll see what happens. This is going to be strictly a water build. And guys, I've seen this game in like fast speed replay, and before you run away, because it's a water match, because it's a water map, before you start claiming, oh, we need a balance patch for this game, let me just explain to you that there are plenty of pros that use the game, play the game the way it should be played with the water, with the fire ships, with the demolition ships. It happens. I mean, you just happen to possibly only be watching games that have galley wars. I don't know. But it's a lot more common than people are making it out to be with this whole balance patch thing. And I personally, I think a little bit of tweaking will do the job. But the thing is, with my opinion on the balance patch is everyone's going to exploit the... Oh, villager went down there for Wrath. Possibly another one there building the house, and either way he's going to be down a villager. Guys, that's huge, and he can't use his re because it's past the 5-minute mark. He was luring in his boar, and looks like whatever Fire had the previous game that he used to rehost on just rubbed off onto Wrath. Wow, not good. But yeah, I personally, I feel what's going to happen is they're going to make a balance patch, and then people are going to exploit the water in another form, because every top player figures out the best technique to do things with. I don't feel like it's ever going to be balanced, and if it is balanced, that'd be really, really cool, but I don't think it ever will be. But anyway, it's going to take a lot, let's put it that way. But I do love everyone who's aspiring to balance it. And Fire, he's in the feudal age, and Wrath, he just clicked up, and obviously he's down a villager. Fire went up on 20 population, abandoning almost all of his food and getting out 2 galleys. As you can see on this side, 1 dock for Wrath, not even getting the second one up, just getting it up. In fact, galley's possibly going to be over here to intercept this villager getting it up. As I say that, probably going to be a little bit late. These fishing ships really going to be in a bad spot. And Wrath, he is a bit behind to going up on 23. It looks like going up early really helped out Fire here. Certainly going to pick off a fishing ship. And Galley's going to have to come out for Wrath right away, and he's going to have to flee. He is going to have to flee with those fishing ships. And as you can see here, more galleys coming out for fire. Not good start for Wrath at all. He's certainly behind, and he's 300 behind in the score right now. These guys are doing a little bit of scouting, it looks like, but, you know, Fire's just going to try and intercept whatever galleys come out, and it looks as though Wrath is just going to garrison everything he has into his docks, which is good, because in the early feudal age, these galleys aren't going to be able to do much damage on a dock. In fact, he's not even attacking the docks at all. He's going for the fishing ships that for some reason wandered on home, and not good. And in fact, you'll see he has more than one galley queued up at a time inside his docks. That means if he had a fourth dock possibly, that one would already be being created, throwing his fishing ships away. And remarkably, only on 2 docks on this side from Fire. So if we are able to see the production from Wrath here, he could ungarrison and really pull this one back. We'll see what happens. No +1 currently for any of these players. Wrath, though, outmassing at least on the front for now. And we're going to keep it sped up a little bit here through the micro and see what happens. Now, Wrath, he's going to push across, and he's going to want some fishing ship kills of his own. That's going to be really important. However, we did see the blacksmith coming up here for Fire. A little bit of micro going on, and see what's happening here from Fire. He was using a runner, and what a runner is well, he was also running away with his weak ones, but sometimes runner technique, and maybe it wasn't, is to use one ship and run it along in front of the firing galleys and use the other ones to fire on behind. Now, take a look at this, though. The extra docks are certainly helping out Wrath right now. Wrath, he has 3 over here, 7 over here, as opposed to just the 5 from Fire, who, at this point, has the population lead, but it's only in villager lead count and fishing ships. So, Wrath, he is so aggressive. I love it. I love it. I love it. Last game, he was aggressive as well. Just didn't work out for him. And he's so aggressive, and he doesn't care that these fishing ships are quite low. He's just going to take the risk and see what happens. Fishing ships are going to, I mean, not the fishing ships, I'm sorry, galleys are going to go down, though. They're quite low, and this could turn around there if he's not careful in the direction of Fire. Fishing ships, though, idled over here, but they are going down for Fire. And Fire, where is his water? Has he abandoned the water? He still has 2 docks. I did see an archery range go up, and a couple archers from Fire, and I feel like I get a little lucky with the games I bring you. Maybe it is just talent that I find the games. I don't know. I mean, I can't really say it, but I mean, every water game I brought to you, except for one of them on my channel of like 30 videos, there's been some type of land action, and I love it. I love it. So, problem now. Well, Wrath actually has these sheep, so if the aggression comes over on this side, he's going to know because these sheep are going to disappear. Also, Wrath, he's walled off on this side, so, you know, he's not going to have any intrusions on this side from any feudal units. He did have some intrusions on the front from Wrath's galleys. He is outmassed here because, well, this is where he put the pressure on. He's putting the pressure on the front. Fire, well, he's going to have some trouble getting in here. The wall is coming off, and possibly the only way he's going to get these archers across is if he brings a transport. And that's certainly possible, but not if you don't have the water control. So, water control, as I've stated many, many times, and so have many other Age of Empires commentators, it's important. They're good as sheep. Wrath has to know what's coming at this point, and wall off. Well, this villager completely walled out. You're going to want to bring him back, Wrath. But archers coming across, water still in the control of Wrath right now. And interested to see what's going to happen from Fire. Fire's resources, however, just taking a quick look and slowing things down. Fire's resources, he's close. He's going to click. he is clicked to the Castle Age. Possibly, we were speaking about balance patches and whatnot. What if we'd see some fire ships here, guys? I mean, fire ships against these galleys might work. And we already see the transport here from fire. Wrath's probably going to want to intercept that with a couple galleys right here, and that's what he has, but possibly somehow being sucked back over onto the front, and I think it's a good idea for Fire. Fire, he's just going to use his galleys to lead the action away, and as I say that, he's actually using great judgment. I mean, he could have easily just committed and sent that transport here. He hasn't done that just yet, and in fact, he's going to send it around the long way. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, Wrath is going to run right into that, and Wrath isn't going to catch it. So Wrath's going to have some archers in his base. Meanwhile, he's not even close to Castle Age. He doesn't have many farms. Remember, he doesn't have any fishing ships. He does have the water control, and there are the archers with +1. So possibly an archer going to get some HP taken off. But there's archers in the base now, and that's enough to do some havoc on some villagers for sure. Transport going down. That's not going to be used again, except for some fish at the bottom of the sea. And, I mean, we're going to need water control from Fire. We're going to need it. I mean, he's a K down in score, provided remembering that he is, of course, on his way up to the Castle Age. That would change. But he's going to need to rebuild his docks. And this is where Wrath needs to be patrolling his units and not allowing this dock rebuild. He does not need fire ships right now in his life. He does not need fire ships at all. And fire ships plus archers in his base isn't a good mix. Soon to be crossbow, I assume. Crossbowmen +2. I mean, they're going to be able to just sit here and do a little bit of damage. Until they eventually get a couple villager picks. Because, well, we're not going to want to create anything if we're Wrath right now, are we? So, anyway, fire ships. We like the fire ships. Fire ships coming out. Going to be hard to take out that many galleys for sure. But has Wrath even figured out what's going on down here? And he hasn't. He still has no clue, and you know, he's patrolling this side. But you would think the side over here would be patrolled as well with at least a galley, and just not happening. Wrath not even clicked up to the Castle Age right now. A couple crossbows here. He's making a couple skirmishers, going to delay his castle time. Remember, he doesn't even have the +1 yet, it looks like. So because of that, I mean, the range is going to be firmly in favor of these archers or crossbowmen. But skirmishers are darn strong. They really are a darn strong unit. And here we go. Wrath has spotted it. But what is he going to run into? I mean, one fire ship might be able to take out all 5 of those. If I'm wrong on that, maybe the balance patch would fix that. But he has no clue what's waiting for him in there. And fire ships coming out. And that's at least 3 or 4 galleys going down. And they're just going to chase Fire or Wrath across the map. And Wrath and Fire, I really have a hard time with the these names. But villager low on HP, almost going down. But as you can see, those crossbows were causing a lot of havoc, even though there's only 5 of them, and they were being addressed by skirmishers. But fire ships, in they come. Using one fire ship to war towards the other fire ships. And, well, they are taking out some galleys, but he's going to want the galley production of his own. Wrath still making galleys, still not quite up. And Fire on 2 TCs now. So you would have to think Fire certainly has the advantage right now. He has the upgrades on the water. He could be getting some more galleys out. And galleys he has, what we did just make is a demo ship. And where is it? There's a demo ship. I think that was a misclick, because I've done that before. But not sure about the demo ship right now versus some feudal galleys. However, click surely has come for Wrath. Wrath, he's 75% of the way up, and he does have again another transport in his base from Fire, and Fire has just been a menace with this all game. You know, you really want to just address the water in a game like this, but not allowing that to happen is Fire right now. And these guys possibly going to get a villager pick right there. Well done from Wrath to be able to pull it back. But I'm liking the mix. Look at the mix. We have the galleys and the fire ships, and interesting combinations. And I'm interested to see if that transport has wandered back home. Nope, there it is. So we'll keep an eye on that for later on. And galleys back here, well, they're going to need to be upgraded before they make any type of engagement. And these crossbows, they're denying farmland, they're denying this lumber camp, which really wasn't the best anyway. But good engagement, I feel. See, Fire is aware that these are going to be upgraded to war galleys soon. He needed to find it. He needed to get that addressed. War galleys in, Bodcanero's in, and now the turnaround and the snipes are going to come from Wrath. And now Wrath is still in a bit of a pickle because he needs another town center if he wants to catch up in villager production, and he needs to address this little problem in his base. Hasn't done that yet. Still on just 3 docks is Fire, and Fire sending across another transport with some more crossbows, and I think that's a great move. It's not being addressed at all. We aren't seeing anything from Wrath to address these crossbows. Why not send a couple more across, especially when all the water action is over here? So he's just going to send it on through, and obviously alerting Wrath of his presence because, well, he's shooting that dock right there. And Wrath, he's had enough. He's going to try and get that transport, but it's going to be hard without ballistics, but it will go down. And again, what is happening here? What is happening for Wrath? Well, I think the victory on the land, there's a small victory on the land for Fire, because he has forced a siege workshop, he has forced all these idle villagers, and again, probably some skirmishers as well, and still only 1 skirmisher. It's hard to do skirmisher production when your food is almost non-existent. He only has 118 food, and he has 1 villager queued up right now. He has no farmland anywhere, so it's very difficult for him, and he needs that wood for his galleys. So, water control gonna be important though for Fire. He can't just skip the water, but using the transport to maximum effect. Remember, there's always wolves on Crater Lake, going to cause a bit of a problem, but with these galleys, you would think that they would be able to help out, but he has no galleys. He's going for the castle, and the transport having to be abandoned because those villagers would have gone down in the transport. 1 villager down to Gaia over here, and Wrath, oh, with this bold move from Fire, actually taking the game because Fire losing 6 or 7 villagers, and that castle's denied. And we've seen it before. We've seen the multiple TC approach versus the 1 TC approach. Obviously at this point, excuse me, I'm yawning like crazy today. Wrath, well, he is going for the 1 TC. And those wolves are still just waiting. Like, they're on their toes. Like, look at that. They're on their haunches. They're ready. And how many TCs we're gonna get? Like, how many? I'm just curious. Like, what is the plan for Fire? He has a bigger eco, so the only thing I can think of for him is to build a castle, which he's doing right now, and rebuild his docks, upgrade in the Imperial Age, and then push back on the water. And it looks like that's what he's going to try and do right now. He's going to have to get a castle up so he can get docks back up. These docks, they're going to be gone. And he's going to be up soon. He is going to be up soon. And remember, we've already approached this before. Wrath, he was in a good position. Then he kind of lost the position because of lack of upgrades. And, well, he's there again. And I feel this entire game that Fire has been pushing the aggression. So, you know, only just now is Wrath being able to get the water control, but, you know, he's not landing anything. He's not doing anything, really, to push any pressure. So, that could really come back to haunt him. It really could. And here come the quick rebuild of these docks. You know, those villagers were in there just waiting. And going to get a dock or two up for sure before the rest of these galleys come over. And castles, I don't know how arrow fire can take down a ship, but I'm glad it does because it really adds spice to the game. And these villagers are going to have a hard time getting these docks up, though. I mean, that castle is not close enough. And we have fire ships and a trade cog. A couple trade cogs coming out from Fire. Please delete it, Fire. That would be such a shame if you were to make a trade cog. Guys, he is going to make a trade cog. The trade cog. Woohoo! He's sending a trade cog out. And, well, that's going to go down. It only has 80 HP and no attack. So, still, another castle up. This castle here is still waiting to be used, but it's gonna be able to try and rebuild these docks. This castle's gonna free him up some space. Queuing up more villagers, of course. He's gonna need to do that, and there we go. That castle's really gonna help him out. Finally gonna be able to rebuild these docks. And what do we see? We see a transport from Fire. We see Mangadai from Fire. 2 transport ships from Fire. Does he want the water back? I think he needs it. I think he really needs it. I like your aggression, Fire, but I mean, he actually queued up the transport in this dock because he knew this dock would go down. Like I said, I'm loving the aggression from Fire right now. But without the water control, that transport is not going to get across. It's not going to get across. So, Wrath just needs to get up to the Imperial Age. And Wrath, he is darn close at this point. Darn close. Has a galley or two here. Notice to make sure there is no landing. And on 2 TC now, he's about to click up. Great move. Great move to get up to the Imperial Age. Really needed to do that. Not necessarily a move, but a good tactic to get up. And he really needs it. And just check this out from Fire. I feel like it's really desperate. Everything he's doing is really desperate right now. His gold income's very low, and his wood is being denied by these galleys. That villager, boom, going down. And remember, guys, the gold is in the center if you lose it, and it looks like it has been secured. Villagers coming across from Wrath. He is finished up on gold as well. Just about. We have about 700 left for him. And I don't see Fire being able to do anything. The middle has been lost. This is where the gold is. In fact, Fire has already kindly killed some wolves with his villagers already for Wrath. And he's going to send villagers across. This has got to be it. Because if he cannot get this castle up, he's not going to secure the middle. Villagers on this side from Wrath already. Wrath might, if he knows this is coming, if Wrath can see this coming, he might want to build a tower. But he can't see the transport. Transport running out into the thick of things and quickly turning around, but will it go down? Ballistics is in. That It's gonna need to run, and well, gonna loop around this side. It looks like I would love to see a tower from Wrath right now just to deny this castle for the time being. Fast fire ships, they're going to town over here, but they're not going to be enough, I don't feel. And that is a critical amount of fast fire ships from Fire, actually. I was very surprised. I'm not sure where he's getting these guys from, probably selling resources. And this is where he sends the villagers across. There are villagers with no units except a Mangonel on the side of the map. Probably going to engage this Mangonel first, try and get the castle up. And look at the fire ships. The fire ships are causing problems, keeping these galleys away from the center. And there's the tower. But will it be fast enough? I don't know. These galleys are going to certainly play an important role at keeping these villagers off of this castle. But I think that castle's going to go up. I honestly think that castle's going to go up. And with this game has been so topsy-turvy. Look at that. Look at the galleon upgrade coming in for Wrath. But is it going to be enough? Will he have the gold? I don't know. I don't know. Now, again, as I say that, I got really excited for Fire for a brief moment. But he doesn't really yet have the water control, so I don't see him being able to collect this gold because it's like on this little island. So we'll see. Fast fire ships doing a decent job at keeping him away from the central, and that's what it needs to happen. But I mean, Wrath still going galleons. Fire, he's going war galley some as well. Does he have the galleon upgrade coming in? He does. He has +3. And look at that gold. Look at it. Just look at it. It is so huge. This castle is going to be huge. But honestly, if I were a villager, if that was me right there, if that gold miner was me, I would be so antsy because I know that there is going to be incoming attack anytime soon. And I don't see how these villagers are going to survive all that long. It's going to be down to if Wrath wants to throw his units away to this castle, kill the villagers. And you know what? He's just going to be, oh, I'll just mine on this side too. And when you come over to the left side, I'll go to the right side. And smart little micro there from Fire. That gold's going to be important for him. And remember, the center is in firm control right now of Fire because of this castle. And with this amount of galleons, I don't know if Wrath's going to be able to take it down. Wrath would almost have to go cannon galleon and take down the castle first. Have to take down the castle first because you can't lose his units. But that's a lot of units from Fire to be able to defend this. It is a toss-up, and I have to give it to Fire because Fire, he has the gold. And there it goes. There goes the first stone ball out of this cannon galleon. And this castle, if these cannon galleons aren't addressed, it will go down. And Wrath, does he have... He has one relic. He's selling stone, it looks like, at this point. I'm not seeing any more gold on his map, so it has to be what he's doing. And the cannon galleons aren't being addressed, though the castle is being... Wow, guys. Great engagement out here on the front, but these cannon galleons are huge, not being addressed right now by Fire, and he's not able to address it, because if he tries to run through these galleons, he's going to be in a world of hurt, and he doesn't even have D +4. He doesn't even have chemistry himself. This castle, only thing protecting these villagers, and I don't see it staying up. I see Wrath keeping this control, or regaining this control, excuse me. Not really keeping it at all. And so now you have to look and see Fire. Oh, sorry. What is the plan from Fire? He still has that one Mangadai there. Is he getting the chem upgrade? He's getting masonry to give more HP to his castle there. But It really, with the cannon galleons out in the map, tech is really going to be king right now. Tech is really going to be king. And fighting on the other side of his island is going to be a battle he's not going to want to fight. And it's going to be hard right now to call this, because I've almost done it about 6 times, and I have a habit of doing that, but we're looking at a 500 score lead right now. This castle's somehow staying up. Surely going to go down sooner or later, but these cannon galleons are actually quite weak. They're actually quite weak against buildings. I mean, by the time they shoot again, it has already been repaired back to where it was when it was previously hit. However, look at the stone count from Fire. Look at the resources from Fire. He is really behind right now. Though he is queuing up everything he can, he's just bought 100 stone. He's just bought 100 stone so he could repair this more. And just take a look. I'm not even gonna just take a look. Just beautiful stuff from these guys. You just have to hand it to them. Neither of these guys giving it up. But at this point, the military, well, it is firmly in Wrath's favor. He's at 45 at this point, while military for Fire, that is at 30. Now, 15 lead. Only thing I would say is that cannon galleons are not being reproduced. If he wants to buy himself some time, Fire needs to run in front of his castle. But it's not going to be a smart move at this current time. He's still outmassed. He can't lose that critical mass of units. And, you know, Fire, this castle is really the only thing keeping him in the game right now, I feel. It's the only thing keeping him in the game right now because of his military disadvantage. He's almost doubled. And demo ship, I knew the demos were going to come out. Probably a misclick from Wrath. But level on upgrades right now are these guys. And, well, we have this castle still alive. So, when's the castle going to go down? What's going to happen? Is Fire just hanging on? Well, guys, we're going to speed it up a little tiny bit here because, gosh darn it, this hasn't changed in like the last 10 game time minutes. This castle is only down 1,000 less HP. Stone running out for Fire. Fire, he heard the little click. He can't repair anymore, and he doesn't have the gold to buy any more stone. And there's the GG right after that happens. And I'm really interested right now to figure out what Wrath was doing to get gold. Wrath, well, that would not be Wrath. That would be Fire game. Okay. Wrath only has 1 relic. And, in fact, yeah, there we go. And so, it won't let me switch point of views at this point. He only had 1 relic, to my knowledge. Possibly 2. But he has the production advantage. Now, question is, what's the difference here? Now, something I possibly touched on in the beginning of the game is that, well, we had the Vikings here from Wrath and the Mongols from Fire. So, that was a great game. And in the late game, man, those Vikings with the less costing warships or the cheaper warships, it's going to have an advantage. And certainly bit Fire in the butt, the Mongol choice there. But that was a great game. A little bit of everything. I enjoyed that one. Looking forward to the rest of the best of 7 series from these guys. See what I can get up for you guys from the series, if it's any good. And looking forward to more stuff on the channel shortly, guys. Have a good one. T90XVI.